Hey YouTube, just going to have a look at my garden and the progress in my fruit and vegetables in a minute. As you can see, it's a beautiful, lovely sunny side. Oh wait, no, it's shit. Hopefully, as the months go by, it'll actually get sunnier. It's June though, would you believe? Anyway, this is the progress in my beans so far. Some broad beans back there, regular beans. Got a couple more here. Now these, a couple of weeks ago, these were down to just the nub, like snails had eaten them completely, but they're gradually starting to recover. That's why I've doused everything in slug pellets, even though I don't like using them in case the frogs eat the slugs that have eaten the pellets and it poisons the frogs. It is mostly snails we get in the garden and the frogs don't touch them, so hopefully they'll be alright. Now if we journey around here, I've got a couple of tomatoes here. Now this is an interesting one because I got the seeds for this variety from Heinz. Like they have this promotional offer where you give them your details and they send you some tomato seeds, but I've never seen tomatoes with leaves like this before, and they've got a little kind of yellow flower in there, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out. Raspberries there, they've grown really well this year, better than they've ever been despite the weather. And now in here I've got loads of cucumbers. Like the cucumber seeds I had expired last year, so I thought they might not work, so I planted shitloads of them, and now I've just got dozens of cucumber plants, more than I need. Just 2 cucumber plants overstocks me, let alone the 6 that I've got. Well, 5 now because I gave one away. More of these Heinz tomato plants. Got some in pots and then some in the ground there. Now I'm going to do 3 or 4 parts to this video, one every month. It's June now, and then I'm going to track the progress of my crops. Say pepper plant. None of my pepper plants came to anything last year, so got quite a few of them grown this year as well, up on the shelf there. So hopefully at least one of them will survive. And the rocket and the spinach actually survived through the winter, which I was pretty impressed with. We've got some asparagus in the ground there as well, but none's come through at the minute, but I've had quite a bit of that this year so far. So yeah, you can see the plants aren't that big at the minute, but hopefully as the months go by, and then in probably September time when they're finished with the crops, I'll upload the video. Right, it's July now, and as you can see the weather has improved, thank God. Now, moving over here, you see these are the beans that were eaten by the snails, which are quite a bit behind my other ones, but that's a good thing because otherwise I'll be swamped in loads of beans at once, so it's nice to have them kind of peppered out as for when I'll be able to harvest them. And then over this side I've got my good ones. You can see I've got loads growing in there. Damn, this camera's inability to focus. There. Yeah, I've got loads of beans in there, got some different varieties around here. A couple of tomato plants out here, including that strange one. I haven't fruited yet, but got loads of flowers on it. So, still interested to see how they're going to turn out. And in here, you can see everything's growing like crazy. Tomatoes, cucumbers. Got about 9 cucumbers grown at the minute. One there, one there, and there. One behind here. Sorry, the focusing's going to be all over the place. And then got some tomatoes growing already. There, and there's more abouts. Pepper plants there. So yeah, everything's going alright so far. By a month's time hopefully I'll have a load of crops to take in beside the beans. And of course the raspberries are doing well. I've had a couple of ice cream tubs worth off of there so far. We're now into August and everything's coming along nicely. Still got loads of beans coming up here and around here. It's hard to see them really through the leaves, but I've got quite a few different ones growing in there. And the greenhouse here has just gone crazy. It's really overpacked, so I've got to be careful that I don't get any mould or bacteria build up in there. I keep the doors and windows open, hopefully stop it getting too damp. Don't want the blight again like I had last year. But still got some cucumbers growing here. There's loads of smaller ones still as well, but there's 3 that are about ready to take off. Now these tomatoes here, I've never known a tomato plant to have branches with so many flowers on as this one. Look at all those. There'll be about 30 tomatoes on that branch, and then there's another branch from that same plant there with about 30 flowers on it. It's crazy. Then I've got my lettuce and basically various mixed salad leaves grown there, which is handy because there's been a bit of a scare in the UK at the minute about E. coli. 2 people have died of it and quite a few other people have come sick from it, and they seem to think that the E. coli is coming from bags of mixed salad leaves that you buy at the supermarket, so growing your own isn't a bad idea as long as you wash them before using them. Just a quick look at what I got in today. We're in about the first week of August now. And I've had loads of beans so far, but only those 2 cucumbers. That I've got about 5 more growing at the minute, and I mean, God, it's going to take me a while to get through these 2, so it's all good. Now I just wanted to show you this tomato plant because it is growing like crazy. All these flowers here are on one branch. There must be about a good 50 flowers there, all on one branch of this tomato plant. There's the same down here, another branch off of that same plant. I've never known a tomato plant to have so many flowers on one branch. Normally they're like this one here, where it's, you know, just sort of 10 or whatever on one branch. Same in there, and on here, all pretty, you know, regular amount of tomatoes on each one. But that plant there, I don't know if it's a different variety or what's going on. I've never known a tomato plant grow like that. Absolutely crazy. I'm really looking forward to seeing if all of those flowers actually do turn into tomatoes or not. We're getting into September now, and I've had plenty of tomatoes coming red, as you can see there. A few in there. Down here. These ones here, where I've got hundreds of flowers on, I've got quite a few tomatoes coming on those, but I'm not sure if the whole lot are going to actually develop into tomatoes or not. Or if it would just be some of them. Obviously some's better than none, but it would have been nice if every single flower on this huge bush full here did grow into tomatoes. These rounder ones here, different variety that haven't reddened up yet. They'll come a bit later, but that's fine. Even them out a bit. Now as for the cucumbers, I've got 3 there that are almost ready to pick. There's one there, 2 there, one of which is ready to pick, and I've got 2 more growing out in the front garden as well. So just got more cucumbers than I know what to do with. Getting sick of them, but can't complain. This is just what I've got in today. Got a load of tomatoes there, you can see bean there, some different types of beans there, and a couple of cucumbers. And on top of that also had some salad leaves into there, some chives and that I'll put in a salmon sandwich, so I'm getting a decent amount now. Well, it's October now. just the start of October, but I've still got quite a lot of beans growing in here, if you can see them there. So not doing too badly. Some there. Even across here on these plants that have been eaten a bit by the snails. Tiny little one growing there. This part outside here, got plenty still coming, plenty of tomatoes. I've still got loads coming red. All those vines there. This massive bunch of flowers that are gradually turning to tomatoes, as you can see there. Down here more of them are red. It's getting a huge crop off that one. And then I've got these tomatoes here, which are a different variety, which is starting to redden up now, so they'll come a bit later, but that's not a problem. Still some cucumbers growing, so they're going to be stocking me well into October. Been a pretty good year this year. Peppers are starting to come on now as well. Don't know if they'll go yellow or red or not, but they're still nice when they're green anyway. Obviously want them to get a bit bigger than that. But nice to see they're coming on. Just give you a look out in the front garden, which I haven't showed you before, but I've got these big tomatoes growing here. Got some smaller ones growing on here. Another load of large ones, but a different variety in this pot here. And then a cucumber plant here, which I've had about 5 cucumbers off so far. Got one more and then that'll probably be the last of them. Well, it's the 23rd of October today, and I've just got all this lot in. Still getting some beans. I've still got a few beans coming. That's the last of the cucumbers though. The cucumber plants are kind of getting a bit mouldy and starting to rot away now. So it's kind of sad that that's the last one. It's only a small one, but still good. But I'm amazed that the beans are still coming. I've got at least 4 or 5 more beans to come and loads of tomatoes. So hopefully they'll last into November now. 2 weeks into November, and you can see these are just ripening up. These round, small plum tomatoes. Got loads of them there. Some there that are still green, but the plant's doing well still in the greenhouse here. It's actually quite a mild November so far. I bought these larger ones in from around the front, but the plant's dying off unfortunately. I don't know if it caught the cold while out there before I brought it in here. These ones here at the back, 2 are still ripening up and producing loads of tomatoes. It's some of what I've just been picking, and there's loads on there still, so not doing too badly. Still getting the salad leaves as well. I've got down there now, spinach and whatnot. The cucumbers are all done now, but the peppers are still coming. I've had 1 off of those, and I got at least 2 more peppers growing there to eat. So if the weather keeps as it is, I've got another pepper, got 2 peppers growing on that plant there. So if the weather continues as it is, I may well be producing into December at this rate, but we'll see. It's almost Christmas now, so kind of coming to the end of December, and you can see this plant here is kind of rotting and dying, but the tomatoes are still pretty good, so I might as well take them in. All the other tomato plants are gone, except for this one here, which is still growing pretty well, but they're not as sweet as they were because they're not getting the sun, and I don't want to just leave them out here for the sake of it and then end up rotting, even though there's part of me that wants to kind of see how long they'll last, but might as well take them all in now. So this will be the end of the tomatoes for this year. But they've done pretty well considering it's, you know, pushing January. So they don't taste as sweet now as they did. Now they're not being sun ripened, so I'll take them indoors, and they might ripen up a bit on the windowsill anyway. But I mean, even these green ones I'm going to chop up and put in a stir fry, so they won't go to waste. So that's my garden progress for this year. Lasted longer than ever before. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the new year.